Social Security, and the potential plan to freeze checks and any future raises for all beneficiaries. And yes, this would include retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. I have some new details for you here in the video. Let's get into it and talk about what they're suggesting and why would they want to do such a thing to all the beneficiaries. Good questions. I want to know the exact same thing, but there actually is reasoning behind this, and let's talk through the details. Now, first off, I want to say this much. I am not here to scare anybody, but rather I want to bring you information as far as what is circling around and what I've been seeing out there as far as some ideas that they're floating as far as what they can do to save Social Security. Now, I want to say this much as well. Social Security is not going anywhere. There's all these headlines, all these articles, all these people saying, oh no, Social Security is bankrupt. They're going away. Checks are ending. That is not true. No, benefits are not ending. No, benefits are not going away. Social Security is not bankrupt, okay? They have a lot of money. In fact, as of the most recent Social Security Board of Trustees report, they have about $2.7 trillion in the trust fund. Not sure about you, but that's a lot of money to me. Not sure if you think multiple trillions of dollars is a lot of money, but I think that's a lot of money, okay? So they're fine. And they have a lot of money coming in still through Social Security payroll taxes. However, we do know that they have an issue on the horizon about 8 or 9-ish years, give or take a little bit, depending on which numbers you look at and which reports you look at, all kinds of things like this. But yes, there is a crisis on the horizon, and lawmakers certainly need to do something about that. So as a result, they're floating all these different ideas as far as, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's change this, let's reduce that, let's cut these benefits over here, let's take money from this. Again, you hear all of these proposals out there. I've shared basically every single one of them with you here in the on the channel in separate videos. But one of them is suggesting potentially freezing any Social Security benefit raises to beneficiaries. Now, why would they do this, and how would they do this? Again, let me explain really quickly. So every year we get the COLA, okay? Most years, let me correct myself, most years we get the COLA. Believe it or not, there are some years out there that we get a zero COLA, okay? It hasn't happened in the last handful of years here, but there's been a number of years that we've received a zero COLA. That's rough. But now that we know about the 2.5% COLA, obviously for 2025, and now that that is in play here, because of this 2.5% COLA, checks will be increasing across the board. And you might be thinking, yeah, but I'm only getting $12 more. You're right. It's not going to be much on average for the average beneficiary. It's not going to be much. But when you spread that out across 70 plus million beneficiaries and about 11,000 more a day that are becoming eligible for benefits, that translates into a lot of money. In fact, according to the most recent numbers and the calculations on this, we're looking at about $3.5 billion a month is how much more Social Security will be paying out as a result of the COLA through the entire year of 2025. Here's another interesting thing about it. As you know, the COLAs are permanent. Once you get the COLA, it doesn't go away. It stays there. And the following year's COLA is compounded on top of that. So technically, every year that goes by, it costs Social Security a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, because we're compounding those raises on top of the higher benefit for the from the previous year, okay? And again, I've said this before in other videos. You know the situation, but just in 2025, because of the 2.5% COLA, it's an extra $3.5 billion a month, roughly, give or take a little bit, and about $42 billion for the entire year that are going out to beneficiaries. It's a lot of money. But when you think about the trust fund having $2.7 plus trillion in it, $42 billion for the entire year is not that much. We're good, right? But here's the situation, and here's the idea that's been floated. Hey, we're giving this COLA to all beneficiaries. A lot of beneficiaries may or may not need it. The higher income people, by the way, that I'm referring to. So there's a couple different iterations of how they potentially want to do this. Hey, let's completely cut the COLA. That is one of the ideas that's out there. Let's completely stop the COLA. Now, I want to be fair with you, and again, I'm going to elaborate on this further in just a minute, but cutting the COLA would not really do anything to the insolvency issue. That's only going to save what? Well, in this example, $42 billion in the case of 2025. The COLA is not going away as of now, but I'm just simply saying, in this example here, if they were to cut the COLA, it would only save $42 billion, again, roughly, give or take a little bit, for the entire year of 2025. It's not that much. I mean, here's the thing. $42 billion is a ton of money for you and me. But for the program as a whole, it's not really going to be the difference of saving the program or not. They really need to come up with a better solution here and come up with something that's actually going to save the program long term and not just save it for an extra like 1 or 2 weeks. That's, you know what I mean? That's about all it's going to be. Like a half a month. That's really all that is. By the way, Social Security sends out about $100 billion a month to beneficiaries. It's craziness. That's, to me, in my opinion, that's a lot of money going out every single month. $100 billion a month is about how much they send out. That's nuts. To me, it is. Anyway, that's a lot of money. So anyway, okay, that's the whole situation. Is they're saying, hey, why don't we just completely cut the COLA? Then everybody would basically be frozen in place, right? Benefit checks would be frozen where they are. If no more COLAs come in, that means no more raises to benefits. But here's the unfortunate part about it. As the Medicare Part B premium continues to increase, because that's not going to stop increasing, we all know that's going to continue to go up, that would eventually just erode checks massively, because if all benefit checks are frozen in place and no more COLAs, no more raises to help offset the extra Medicare Part B premium increase, then eventually as the premium goes up and raises are no longer coming in, checks would just continue to be eroded year after year after year with higher premiums from Medicare Part B. Does that kind of make sense? So again, this is just one of the iterations, is completely eliminate the COLA for everybody. Just stop it. There goes the COLA, stopping, okay? That's iteration number 1. Now, iteration number 2 that I've seen as well, some people have said, why don't we just stop the COLA for basically anybody receiving a benefit above the average, which, by the way, for 2025, the average retirement benefit is a little over $1,900. Well, okay, it's almost $2,000 to be fair. Okay, let's just call it $2,000 to be fair. Okay, so let's just say the average retirement benefit is about $2,000 and the average SSDI benefit is a little over $1,500 for the average beneficiary, okay? So if they were to reduce the COLA for basically anybody receiving over the average, which would be basically anybody receiving a retirement benefit over the $2,000 average benefit, and again, that number is adjusting all the time, that's what they were talking about as well, is maybe we just keep the COLA for anybody under the average, and anybody that's receiving a monthly benefit above the average benefit, we just eliminate the COLA. Okay, that might make sense as well. So essentially what that would do, it was essentially impacting the highest income beneficiaries, or above the average beneficiary is what that would impact. Okay, so I want to make it very clear. No, none of these have gone into play yet, but as we get closer and closer to this insolvency date that is still out about 8 or 9 or maybe 10 years in the best case scenario, as we get closer and closer to this insolvency date, the more extreme ideas they're going to come up with, and this is just another one. By the way, they have other ideas out there to reduce benefit checks for higher income beneficiaries. This is a real thing, and we have lawmakers that have signed on to this and saying, yeah, let's do this. So they have a lot of plans out there. In my opinion, none of which would actually save the program from insolvency. Okay, cutting the COLA is not going to do it. That is not going to save Social Security from becoming insolvent. It may help it for literally 2 weeks. A month, maybe, by the time we get out there. It's not going to do much at all. That is not the answer. It's an okay plan, but maybe they do it. I have no idea. Again, that's why I have to watch everything, is we don't know what they're going to do. That's the scary part about all this. We have no idea how they're going to resolve this issue with insolvency. That's why I'm watching it closely, because I want to know what their plan is and how they're going to likely approach this and what may be coming out of it. We don't know. That's the major scary part. That's the major news behind this. Make sense? Anyway, I want to do what I can to keep you updated with what's going on here. I hope this helps. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Totally free to do so. Like the video, thumbs up button down below. Share the video, please, with the share button down below. Anybody that you know that may benefit from this information or find this to be valuable, share this video with them. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Check those out. Otherwise, right now, popping up your screen as well, you'll see some videos there. Check those out. Again, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Just have a nice day. And again, I'll get